Back again with another YouTube video. It's your boy Uriah G. Today we're going to react to what really went wrong with WWE Wrestlemania 41. Today is Wrestlemania Night 2. We're going to live stream that. We didn't get to live stream Night 1, but it's fine. But yeah, we're going to react to what really went wrong with WWE Wrestlemania 41.
The build to WrestleMania 40 in 2024 was an overwhelming success and triumph. Following a successful pivot away from Roman Reigns vs. The Rock, WWE advertised two blockbuster main events, and their respective bills had fans buzzing each and every week. This was predominantly down to their unpredictable nature, as we lived in a timeline where the final boss was showing up with his new villainous character without even being advertised, and every segment managed to hit the mark. The Rock would even cut random social media promos in the middle of the night, and these didn't just elevate the build to WrestleMania 40, it also elevated everyone involved in the storyline, including Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins. Elsewhere, stories including Sami Zayn, Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and CM Punk were really strong, and WrestleMania 40 had all the hype in the world. Upon comparing the build to WrestleMania 40 to the build to WrestleMania 41 in 2025, something has clearly gone wrong. Just days away from the
I can definitely say it feels a little different, but let's see what he says.
biggest show of the calendar year, and the buzz is just missing. Fans are questioning why the build to the show has been so timid, and fans are even questioning if WWE have lost their focus and drive ahead of WrestleMania. The underdeveloped undercard. Now, while certain matches, notably Jade Cargill,
You know what's even more annoying than fans?
Goodness. By the way, that match already happened. And as you may know, Jade Cargill, she won. She's the face. She's not the heel. We would have thought the heel would have won, but no.
exceeded expectations, there are so many matches on the WrestleMania 41 undercard that have failed to justify their existence. It's almost as if Triple H has realized that certain names needed to be on the card, so he panicked and just ordered the laziest match to book. The game spent months building up the SmackDown Tag Division, only to decide to leave the titles off WrestleMania, instead booking the War Raiders vs. the New Day for the Raw Tag Team titles. Nobody was pushing to see this match on the WrestleMania card, and it made fans angry, as it was completely pointless investing in the extended tag title story over on SmackDown if the game was never going to pay the story off at WrestleMania. Additionally, both new women's mid-card titles aren't even on the show. Chelsea Green is without a match in any capacity, whilst Lyra
Yeah, I heard about this too.
Valkyria is competing for the tag titles. This is a terrible look for the two new titles, and it was even reported that it was pitched that Green would be the host of WrestleMania 41, but that was shot down. This is possibly a sign that WWE just has too many titles, and the WWE creative team just doesn't have the
Too many titles.
capacity to make sure every title is showcased at WrestleMania. World Title Mania. Now, earlier this year, Triple H claimed that the women main eventing PLEs such as WrestleMania isn't out of the question, and this was a direct quote from the head of WWE Creative. It's always possible. To me, it's always possible. As we build this, to me, nothing is locked into any spot. As we build this, what resonates the most will become the main event. Nothing is locked in. I believe for talent, that is the best way to do it. Let everybody fight over the spot. Let everybody.
And pretty much what Triple H is telling everybody, you just gotta be patient. It's a process. The product, what he gives the viewers, the viewership, the TV, the audience, whatever they watch it on. You know, it's a product. It takes time. It's storytelling. So
Work their ass off, and everybody try to do what we're trying to do, which is do things outside the box and do things people haven't seen. Let them get out there and challenge themselves so that every moment they have on TV. Now, this quote led to a lot of buzz online, as it was a genuine belief that the planned Io Sky vs Rhea Ripley vs Bianca Belair match could main event the show. Unfortunately, WWE heavily botched the build. They practically delivered the same segment 4 weeks in a row, whilst Triple H
I think that match, that's today. I'm gonna be live streaming night 2 though, because I didn't do 1.
says everyone needs to fight for the spot. What were the women supposed to do? Insist that the creative direction was changed? Now, the men's triple threat was randomly awarded the Night 1 main event slot, but it's never been addressed why the match is in the prestigious slot. And Triple H truly opened the floodgates with this comment. He was clearly set on the men's triple threat headlining Night 1, and his comment was just to appease the audience and make it seem like the women had a genuine shot. It was disingenuous, and it'll be interesting to see if the game gets any feedback on these comments on the post-Mania press conference. Now, in relation to the world title on the men's side, Gunther will defend against Jey Uso.
This match happened. The last match happened too. Seth won. Paul Heyman turned, which everyone was speculating that was gonna happen. Seth was gonna win. Paul was gonna turn on Roman and Roman and CM Punk. Jey Uso, Gunther, their match opened up the night. Jey won. He hit a couple frog splashes and made him tap out quick off a sleeper.
After the major backlash to Jey's Royal Rumble win, WWE decided to stay firm with their creative, and no pivot was made to the matchup. Now, whilst the first few weeks of the build were lifeless and dull, since WWE inserted Jimmy Uso into the feud, the three men have put together perhaps the most consistent build out of any match on the WrestleMania card. The story has emotion, it's easy to follow, and each respective character has a clear and logical motivation. If only WWE could have applied this simple formula to the rest of the WrestleMania card, everything would be great. The Triple Threat. The confirmed main event for Night 1 is a Triple Threat showdown. CM Punk will collide with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, and on paper, this sounds incredible, yet the build has been confusing, and the match feels like three respective singles matches just merged into one, designed to appease all parties. The main story of the match is that Punk eliminated Reigns from the 2025 Rumble, and now due to Survivor Series War Games, Paul Heyman owes Punk a favor, which turns out to be in managing Punk on the grand stage. As for Rollins, his motivation is ending both men. Rollins states that the winner of the match will determine the future of the industry, yet with no titles on the line and no stipulation attached to the match, this is just a silly marketing term to sell the match and fans can see right through it. Now, don't get us wrong, the story itself has some strong ideas, but each of the respective stories is better suited to a singles match. The Reigns and Rollins rivalry is well documented, and this needs to end in a one-on-one collision. The Reigns and Punk rivalry is just getting started, and due to Rollins' involvement, WWE have been unable to explore the genuine issues between the two men. It's messy.
Originally, I thought it was just gonna be CM Punk and Seth Rollins rivalry, but
the segments have come across as forced and off-balanced. But one of the key criticisms directed towards the feud is how much time WWE have wasted. WWE have an extended build to WrestleMania each year, yet for this main event match, they spent weeks having one or two of the names involved absent from the show. This made little sense and completely killed off any positive momentum. WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year, and the biggest stars need to be there each and every week to truly sell that WrestleMania season is must-see television. The names involved treating the show like a standard PLE heavily impacts the legitimacy and credibility of WrestleMania as a brand and concept, and it's definitely something WWE needs to address in subsequent years. Rhodes vs Cena. The main event of Night 2 is said to be Cody Rhodes vs John Cena for the WWE Undisputed Championship. The match
tonight
certainly screams main event, and the announcement of the match did indeed lead to a surge of interest in the show as ticket sales gradually increased. WWE took the build to the match to the very next level with an unexpected Cena heel turn, and whilst unexpected, a lot of the elements of Cena's heel turn have been called out by fans. Cena explained in two promos at the start of the build that he was breaking up with the audience. His motivation seemed less focused on Rhodes and the WWE title and more on the disgruntled fans of yesteryear. Whilst this could have worked extremely well a decade prior, it's been a long time since Cena was actually booed. In fact, Cena has been practically cheered and celebrated by all demographics for the best part of a decade, so the motivation just feels under debate. But when Cena embarked on his heel turn, he would sell his soul to The Rock, and fans were eagerly anticipating The Rock showing up to address this, yet as things stand, the final boss hasn't made a single TV appearance in the WrestleMania build. The relationship between Cena and The Rock has only been alluded to one single time on television, and it was quickly moved on from. Why were WWE outright refusing to address what the extent of the relationship between the two men is? What does selling your soul actually mean? How is Cena
giving everything to The Rock, joining him, aligning with him?
Benefiting from The Rock's help makes zero sense, and this entire heel turn could have been easily done without The Rock's involvement at all. It feels like for the majority of the build to WrestleMania, fans have just been eagerly anticipating The Rock randomly showing up on TV, but it's quickly dawned on the audience that we're not in 2024 anymore and The Rock clearly isn't available. Why would WWE deliver arguably one of the biggest angles of all time only for the key players to just disappear? Fans are theorizing that The Rock will be at WrestleMania 41. Whilst this is likely, it's not like the final boss is going to cut a 20-minute promo explaining the true lore between him and Cena. The same goes for Travis Scott, as he was involved in the Cena turn, yet he's barely been mentioned. However, many would argue that he didn't need to be there in the first place. WWE wanted Scott and the
I mean, if he does show up, Cody Rhodes will get his payback, definitely.
angle to create headlines, yet it makes the WWE champion, that being the American Nightmare, look incredibly weak for not seeking revenge in any capacity. That is apart from an off-the-cuff comment he made about Travis Scott getting a receipt, which wasn't even on WWE television. But was the tour a mistake? Traditionally, WWE are able to sell a plethora of tickets for Raw and SmackDown during the road to WrestleMania. This is even the case when the product isn't in the best place quality-wise, as WrestleMania season is that time of year where even the most casual of fans want to see WWE. But their call to have the majority of 2025's WrestleMania season in Europe was very bold. Whilst the crowd were phenomenal and brought life to some disappointing shows, the time difference for a lot of the fans in the USA may be a factor in them feeling disconnected to the build itself. The European television tour could have been easily done in the summer or even on the road to Survivor Series, and the timing just feels unusual to say the very least. But the show can still deliver. Ultimately, the show can still deliver a classic WrestleMania event. However, this doesn't take away from what has been an uninspiring and lifeless build. They went all out for WrestleMania 40 each week on television, yet the build to WrestleMania 41 has been at a SummerSlam level at best. There's an argument to be made that if the actual show delivers, then the build will be forgotten. Whilst this is somewhat true, as in past decade, WrestleMania 31 had a truly horrible build, yet the show was legendary and nobody ever
31 had a horrible build? Wow.
talks about the build. The issue in 2025 is that WWE relies so heavily on their television product to sell and tell stories. They're on the biggest platform in the world, and the stories and shows have to matter. There's definitely been a case of entitlement from WWE during the build. They know that they get sellouts left, right, and center, and with them charging a fortune for regular television tickets, as far as they're concerned, nothing is wrong. However, the weak ticket sales for
Looked like there was a lot of people in there yesterday for night one.
WrestleMania 41 should have acted as an instant wake-up call, and it's highly likely that both nights will be unable to sell out this year, and this is all down to WWE. But what do you guys think?
That was what really went wrong with WWE WrestleMania 41. Subscribe, like, comment. Tell me what you guys want to see next in the comments down below. I got more videos coming. And yeah, Uriah out.